Good morning everybody. שפע ברכה והצלחה, שיעור נשמתם של הקדושים והטהורים. כי תצא למלחמה על אויביך ונתנו השם אלוקיך בידיך. Tells us the parashat, if you go out on your enemy and God will give him in your hand. And אויביך is many. And בידיך, ונתנו is one. So we have the beginning in plural and then it continues with singular. What's the meaning of it? So of course there is the normal meaning. You go to war, you don't do the war and wait that the war will come to you. You go out to make the war outside, and if you go with God, you will win the war. God will give your enemy in your hands. But there is here something very important for this special period of time that we are here, Chodesh Elul. In plural, it's for everybody. And everybody's got an enemy, of one very serious enemy, and that's Yetzer Hara, the bad inclination. And he tries to ruin everything for us. And now, especially for all times, it's the time that God tells you, go out and fight him. And if you go out, you do the first step, that's a special month. There is a special help from the Kadosh Baruch Hu to let us go through this procedure. And when we talk about this, we have to understand that sitting and doing nothing is the worst thing that you can do. Ki Tetze, tells the Torah, I will help you. It reminds me, I had once two workers in the warehouse, and the work was not moving, like things were not moving properly. So I came to visit them in the warehouse, and I'm coming in, and from far away I see both the workers sitting, doing nothing. I'm approaching. One of them got up immediately and starts doing things and things. The other one goes on sitting. So I said, have you finished the job and what's going on? And then I decided, at that moment, the guy that didn't get up, I fired immediately. He sees his boss coming in and he doesn't care. Okay, you didn't do anything, but you see your boss coming, at least get up and do something. The other guy that also didn't do a lot, but at least when he saw me, he got up and started doing things. I left him, but I warned him. I said, you don't understand. I've got cameras here, and I see everything you do every minute. I'm going to put another camera. So be aware. If you want to stay here, start moving. And be aware that you are being watched all the time. And that's exactly what's happening now. God is coming to us, here. The boss is coming. The boss of all bosses, the king of all kings. Our Father in heaven comes. And now, we didn't do a lot this year. And we sit going on with our life. But the boss is coming now. Now, how are we behaving? Like the guy who stays and doesn't move and does nothing? Of course not. That's the worst thing that we can do. The boss comes and you go on sitting? Get up. Ki Tetze, get up and start doing things. Okay, well, I'm playing games. It's not playing games. You're showing God that you care, that He's here. You're showing your boss that you do care of your job and you want to keep your job. And you, when you understand that he's there looking at you, you're getting up and doing things. So, and God promised us, if you get up and start doing things now, I'm going to help you and you will win this beautiful new year. You will win the fight against Yetzer Hara. Sometimes it says, why is this a game? Okay, we have now to take on ourselves to do certain things, like better things, good things, be more, let's say, particular about things that normally we don't. So we ask ourselves, is this a game? No, it's not a game. We have to understand this. I've been once in a Shalom Zohar and they asked me to give a small word. So I gave a small word and I was talking about that it's the time, was at a similar time, it's the time that each one of us had to take on herself something good to do. And I told him, Not something big, small. Because, you know, you've got those people, oh, you know what, from now on, I'm going to sit and learn from morning to night. I'm going to do tzedakah, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to daven, I'm going to wake up and pray vatikim I will learn in the middle of the night, Kabbalah, and stop, calm down. Are you really going to do all this? Maybe one day. What's going on later on? That's not the right way. God tells us, Chazal tells us, פתח לי פתח כחודו של מחט ויפתח לכם פתח כפתחו של העם. Open me a hole like a needle, and I will open you the whole world. But you haven't to open an opening of a needle. Not anymore. Start with a needle, a small. In other words, take on yourself small things, not big things. For example, we're going out of the toilet. אשר יצר. אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה. Think about what you're saying. Think about the words. This is something that you can do. Or, when you pray שהכל נהיה בדברו. Think about the words. ברוך אתה השם שהכל נהיה בדברו. And everybody can take on himself small things. So the lady, the mother of the baby, got up and said, every year I take on myself things and I never keep them. I keep them for a small period of time. After your Kippur, I'm going back to what I did before, and I'm not. So it's no use. What's this again? Playing a game with God? So then I explained to her. You see, God is our Father in heaven, and God wants us that we will come back to Him. So He wants to embrace us. He's opening His arms in this time, and when He sees that we are moving towards Him, even if tomorrow, even if the next month, even in 2 months, we will stop doing the good things that we promised that we're going to do, and we started doing, you have to understand, we're not playing games. We have to start doing them, and we have to need the meaning to do them. But Yetzirah is there. And yes, it can happen that after this month that we have Siyata Dishmaya, we have special help from God, this would be easier to do things. And maybe then when we go on with life, and after your Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, all the stretch and everything, and the Yom Tovim, we will come down, and then we will forget, or we will start playing little here and there. And so what? God wants us now. Now. And then you have to understand that when we start with small things, normally, if we keep them, we go on and do another thing and another thing. All the big things started with a small step. All the big things in life. And I can tell it for myself, I know it. Don't take on yourself a lot, take a little. But take a little seriously. And if you think that you cannot do this, take something smaller. And if you think, oh, I don't know if don't think. Now is the time. The boss is here, the boss is watching, the boss is looking. God is looking, and He's our Father. He wants us to go in the right way. And in the way that somebody, the way you go, God helps you. He helps you to go there. You know, alone we cannot do anything. It's like this story, I always tell it, about this doctor. A stagiaire was, like his first time that he had to stay at night at the hospital, and this department was quite a heavy department with very ill people. He came to the head, to the head machlaka, the head of the department, and said to him, Professor, I cannot do this alone. It's not, how can I do this alone? He says, I'm sorry. There's every night one doctor that is in charge and doing it. And normally everything is okay. Don't worry. Yeah, but you know what? You've got here a list. If something happens, you call the doctors on the list and they come to help you. His shiftment started. And what can we say? Quiet it was not. And he was running from bed to bed, from bed to bed, bed to bed. The morning, there was one bed. He couldn't make it. And the guy died. They sued him for negligence and came in front of the judge. The judge says, what's going on here? And he says, my dear judge, you can ask everybody. I was running from bed to bed. I didn't rest for a minute all the night. So how can they even sue me? So then they just told him, but you know, they gave you a list that if you have problems, you phone the other doctor, they will come to help you. And this is negligent. And that's exactly the same situation. I cannot do this. I cannot do... Nobody asked you to do it alone. Pray to God. Ask to God. Amelech Basadeh is now here. He's going to help you. And we have to understand that this is Chodesh Elul. This is a beautiful month, an unbelievable month. It's the time that God just talks with everybody. He wants us. And you know, this is our Father. What can I say? In life, we also have to know how to look at the good side of life, at the half of the glass that is full and not at the empty half of the glass. And this will help us also to move on and do the good things. It's like this story with a shoe dealer or a shoemaker or whatever, that he wanted to increase his business and didn't have a lot of business, so he decided to go far away to a place where there are not a lot of shoemakers, that he can make shoes there and make a fortune. And he went on the plane to this faraway place. Going out of the plane, after half an hour he phones home and says, I'm coming back. He says, why, what happened? They're all here barefoot. They don't wear shoes. They don't need shoes. I'm coming back. The same plane that he went back, came another shoemaker. And he goes, walks around, sees the same picture. He phones home and he tells them, send me a few containers of shoes. Says, why? What happened? They've got no shoes. They need a lot of shoes. You see, this is the way how you look at things. And when you look at the full side, it says, Afilu posh'ei Yisrael mele'i mitzvot kerimon. Even the villain of Israel, even the Rashaim of Israel, they are full with mitzvahs. You know, yesterday, I've been in the Sheva Brachot, beautiful Sheva Brachot, of the Reb Mendy from Gvanzu, Chabad Gvanzu, and Rabbi Eliyahu from Gvanzu, and the family. And we also are part of this family because, well, a lot of times when we come to there, we feel like at home. And they had this Sheva Brachot here in Israel, here in the shul here, unbelievable. And it was beautiful. They asked me to talk something. So while I was sitting there, I was opening a zero bottle and pouring the drink, and then I looked at the cork and I saw something that I didn't notice it before. Coca-Cola Ta'am HaChaim, the taste of life. Coca-Cola, you know this, it's everywhere. Coca-Cola Ta'am HaChaim. And I thought to myself, Coca-Cola Ta'am HaChaim, this is the taste of life? Coca-Cola? The taste of life is building a Jewish home, as I told at the same opportunity yesterday to the new couple. Ta'am HaChaim, the taste of life, the good life, is going in the way of the Torah, building a Jewish home in Eretz Israel. That's Ta'am HaChaim. And while I was thinking about it, cola is Ta'am HaChaim? It's poison. It's the poison of life. All the doctors, you ask them what cola or zero and all those drinks, what are they doing to our body? But they're very tasty, yes. So is this world, with all the joys and all the things around us. Very tasty, very nice, it's very enjoyable, it's unbelievable. But is it good for us? And that's the question. And God tells us, put the things in the right proportion. You know, my son, a few years ago, I learn with my son Benjamin for every week, half an hour, learning. So an hour a week. And there was one week, we had a lot of things doing and we didn't make it. Sunday, coming to the business, coming back, my son says, Abba, Father, we have to learn. We have to learn an hour. Now, I want to learn now. Says, what happened? Wow, what is the rush? And then he told me, you know, I was going to the gym. He's very strict about the gym, going, I think 3 times a week, I don't know exactly. And he's going there for 2 hours or whatever, and he's like, he cannot miss this. If he misses it in the morning, he goes in the evening. He says, I was doing the exercise in the gym, and I was thinking to myself, look, for this gym, if I miss something, I'm desperate. I'm coming the next day. I'm coming in the evening. He says, no, we didn't learn the whole week, and I'm not desperate. I don't care. I says, I have to change this. We have to sit and learn. If I am obsessive on going to training in the gym, I have to be at least the same obsessive on learning Torah. Wow. What we can learn even from our children. And this is Ki Tetze milchama lo oivecha. This is the way to do things. If we think about it, there is this famous story. I saw it this week, so I'm going to tell it to you again, and in a different version. I tell it in a short version, and as I remember it, there was in the concentration camps in the Holocaust, we all know the situation. And there was a guy that he managed to take a siddur with him, a small siddur he had with him. So what did he do with the siddur? This guy is seeing him talking with somebody, was so sure he wants to give the siddur to everybody that will pray with it and daven with it. And suddenly realized that this guy is doing business. Everybody who wanted the siddur for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, had to give him a part of his food. Concentrators come, you hardly eat. He couldn't believe it. Doing business on a thing like this, with a holy siddur, that's what he's doing. Taking the food from people that are starving. When they got out, and they had those machanot hakurim, there were those camps that were there before they went home or wherever they came after getting out of the concentration camps. There was this rabbi, I don't remember the name, sorry. And they were davening. And he was sitting at the side. He's not participating, he's not davening. So the rabbi saw him sitting there, says, well, what's wrong? Why don't you daven with us? We need you for a minyan or whatever it was. He says, daven? You know what I saw? And he told him the story with the guy with the siddur. This is the way that you're treating the siddur and doing tefillah. I don't want to be a part of a community like this. I don't want to be part of a nation like this. I don't want to be a part of people like this. He says, 1 minute, I don't understand. You're looking at this in the wrong way. Let's look at the other way. This is one guy, and look at all those people who gave the food. They were starving, but they gave a part of their food to this guy. Look what Kiddush Hashem this is. And he suddenly realizes, wow. And he went on to daven. And that's exactly the point. We have to look at the good things. But unfortunately, a lot of times we look at the bad things. It's like I always told you. We're looking at other people's problems. It's like the Baal Shem Tov says, this guy is looking at the mirror and there is something wrong where in a stain on the mirror. And every time he tries to clean the stain, it doesn't get in. For years, suddenly he realized that the stain is not on the mirror, it's on his body. He cleaned it and wow. And this is also one of our problems. We think the stain is there, the stain is here. And God is telling us, Ki Tetze milchama lo oivecha unetano Hashem Elokecha beyadecha. Let's go out on war. And God is promises, I'm going to give you victory. Just start with something small, but small that you believe in it and you're going to do it. Small. All the best. Shefa bracha v'atzluch.